In this video, I'm doing a review of the Recollections guided journals. So there are plenty to choose from. I've just got two in front of me, which are my favorites. They're the most functional. So on the left, we have they call it a guided journal, but it's really, to me, a cross between a planner and a dot grid notebook. So it does have some pre-printed pages, but you've still got the flexibility to choose whatever you want with the open-ended dot grid pages. And then on the right here, this one is a list book. So both of them are just under 6 inches wide by 8.5 inches high, so they're very portable. The one on the left here, this one is a bit heavier because it does have some more pages. Love this silver foil edging. Really nice, reminds me of the Archer and Olive. Really nice extra touch. We've got one ribbon bookmark. I think two would be good. There's nothing printed on the spine except the trackless plan title. No pattern on the back, but there is this constellation thing on the front, which seems to be quite popular as of late. Probably because of Archer and Olive. There is an elastic band to keep everything closed. I've just taken it off to film this video. So the pages are not bright white, they're more of an ivory color. And this is what I was talking about by pre-printed pages. Something's a bad example, we'll go to one that's actually laying flat. So we've got a monthly calendar, very simple. I do like the little flags, something a little extra instead of just a box. It's undated, so even though it's got a Sunday start, you could just change it to Monday with some stickers or get some glitter washi tape over the top. That to me looks about 7 mil, so you could get some washi that would fit nicely, and then get some days of the week stickers and change it to a Monday start. So we've got a blank dot grid page here. It's 5 mil dot grid spacing, and then we've got a to-do list. Really like this, simple date, task, and a checkbox. You can tick it off, or you could use this to track your progress. So I normally do one line when I've started it, and then one line when I've finished it, or if it's a big task, I might shade half of it in. So you don't just have to just tick it off, you could use it as like a workflow as well if you've got just running to-do list rather than just like a quick task list. The tracker page, so instead of spending a lot of time ruling one of these up, it's already done for you. And they've given you a few options here so you can decide how you want to use it. You don't only have to use it as like a mood tracker, you could do a savings tracker. Next we have the habit tracker. Now I do like having a habit tracker. This page to me could be a little more functional. There is a fair bit of dead space here, so you can only track 4 habits, but at least it's included. And you can put the days of the week here if you want to as well. They've got a little bit of extra space. This page is probably the least functional in my opinion. I'd probably only use this for maybe some quotes or some random reminders or things, because some of these are pretty small boxes. You won't be able to fit much in them. You could just use this as like a coloring in page. And then we have a month at a glance. They've left it open-ended so you can add in the dates. Again, you can just get some white out and make it a Monday start if you prefer. Really like this page. It's to the point, and it's still got some decorative stuff in there, and then it repeats again. So you get the pre-printed pages, and there's some blank ones interspersed throughout. So you can do all of your months here. It's quite a few of these. And then, you can see we're still going. Towards the back here, we start with the dot grid pages. So if I just grab all of them so you can see how many, there is quite a lot of dot grid pages in there. I think that's plenty. If you do day to a page bullet journaling, you might run out of space after a year, but I think if you did weekly spreads and just some other like books to read list or something like that, it should probably last you a whole year. There is no page numbers, unfortunately. I think that's the major con of this one. If it had page numbers, I think it would be just about perfect. The pages are laying flat on their own. Open it somewhere else in the book. Laying pretty much flat on their own. At the very back, there is no pocket folder. Might be a deal breaker for some. You could always just add like a little pencil case pouch to put things in and carry that around with you, because this is quite lightweight. Like, even though it's reasonably thick, I'd say about 0.75 inch thick, it's still quite lightweight. You could easily put this in your handbag. Another ribbon bookmark I think would be helpful, but apart from that, functional, and I like that it's got a mix of pre-printed and open-ended pages. Next one here is the list book. It's a lot thinner. As you can see, it's only about half an inch, not even half an inch thick. It's just got lists printed on the spine and nothing on the back cover. If these ones, if we just compare the two, this one's got bright white, whereas this one's got more of like a ivory yellowish type paper. Just a front sheet. And then we've got heaps of to-do lists. Now they've kept it open-ended, so you could use this one page for each day, or you could use one page for each week. We've got top goals, to do, notes, to buy, chores, and a little don't forget section. They've just put dates, so I'm assuming they mean to use it daily. And maybe you buy 4 of these and use it like quarterly. but I would probably use it weekly. And there's also tons of these weekly review pages. So we've got I learned, accomplished, am grateful for, and then a whole bunch of random categories if you want to do more journaling style of planning, and then currently watching, reading up next. So I would probably change this around. I would get some white out and white these out and maybe do different planning categories. So maybe like your cleaning task for the week, like just other random categories, whatever you want to pick that suits you. And you could have your top 3 for each of those, or you could repurpose some of these. Instead of like a journal section, you could make that your like blog to do, personal to do, school to do. So it's cheap enough that you could just get this notebook and then use a bunch of whiteout and change it to suit whatever you need it to. Tons of these week in review pages. From memory, I can't remember how long this is supposed to last. I will check that and include that in the blog post, which we link down below. Based on how many week in review, I'm assuming it might be 6 monthly, actually not quarterly like I mentioned before. Then we've also got some month in review pages. So best thing to happen to you, favorite meals, favorite purchases, how can you make next month more in different categories. It's a bit too journal focused for me. I much prefer functional planning, so again I'd get some white out and change it up a bit. But if you want to do more journaling style, then you could get this one. And at the back here we've also got a monthly accomplishments list page, which I really like. I do actually do these as part of my monthly review, so you could use it for that, or you could just do it as like a monthly to-do list. And at the back here we've also got some custom list pages where you can do whatever you want. There's no pre-printed checkboxes, so you could really use this for anything. You don't have to use it for lists. You could use this as a day to a page planner, whatever you want really. Meal planning, it's quite open-ended. The pages are quite thin, they feel thin, and you can see some show through as well of the printing on the back side. They're laying flat on their own, which is great. Hardcover, no pocket folder at the back though, and the pages also have nice foil on the edge. It's gold this time. So I personally prefer the first one that I showed you. I think that's a really good mix of pre-printed and open-ended. This one doesn't have any open-ended dot grid pages. It's all lined writing space. If you prefer lined writing space, then maybe go with this one. Hope you found this review helpful. I'll have the blog post with the photos and the details, like page size and everything, will be linked down below. Don't forget to subscribe. I usually do a couple of review videos each week.